This is your WCIA 3 forecast first, sponsored by Matex Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electrical.
Well, another crisp and cool night out there across the area. Clouds, though, slowly moving in. Those clouds are going to bring us a pretty good chance of rain for tomorrow, which we'll talk more about coming up. Temperatures tonight are in the low 50s, 50 Effingham, 51 in Champaign. And as we look at how tomorrow begins, we're talking the 40s, find our way back up to the 60s again. But what we will be watching for is the potential for more storms to develop tomorrow afternoon. And yes, maybe a strong one in there. We'll highlight that in the forecast when we come back, so stick with us. WCIA 3 News starts right now.
Now from WCIA 3 News.
State police are investigating what's being called an officer-involved shooting, what neighbors said they saw before it all happened. Plus, right place, right time, how 3 strangers jumped into action to help an officer.
And it looks like your average door down a long-forgotten hallway. Why some at the State House were hush-hush with what was going on behind it.
You're watching your local news leader. This is WCIA 3 News at 10.
A Tilton police officer and a suspect both in the hospital tonight after what's been described by ISP as an officer-involved shooting. Good evening, I'm Paul Cicchini.
And I'm Jessica Coons. The scene was blocked off for hours today. This happened in Tilton on 14th Street between Dean Street and Greenwood Cemetery Road. WCIA 3's Bryce Beeman has more from Vermilion County.
Several police departments responded to an officer-involved shooting Wednesday. The officer and the suspect were both hurt and taken to the hospital. Police tape covered the area around 14th Road and blocked the street off. The Vermilion County Sheriff's Office, Tilton Police Department, and Illinois State Police were on scene. And police say ambulances from OSF and Carl responded. When we arrived, we saw a car on a tow truck. One neighbor told us that car belonged to a neighbor who lived a street over. Another neighbor didn't want to speak on camera out of concern for her safety, but she told us she saw the car when she went to get her mail. She saw 4 people in the car, a man, woman, and 2 kids. The officer told everyone to get out of the area. The neighbor says she hurried back to her home when she heard a gunshot. ISP are leading the investigation. They did not have any more information to release. We reached out to the Tilton mayor, but he did not want to comment. In Tilton, I'm Bryce Beeman, WCIA 3, your local news leader.
State police have not released details about how the suspect or the officer were hurt or how badly they were hurt. We'll continue to keep you updated.
A man in Danville was found guilty of murder in a deadly shooting from 2019. Percy Freeman shot and killed 25-year-old Roosevelt Anderson at the Fair Oaks housing complex. 2 others were charged in connection to that crime. One of them, Denzel Aldridge, is facing murder charges. There's a follow-up on another murder case. The fate of a man in Decatur is in the hands of a jury. Matthew Anderson is accused of shooting and killing 18-year-old Curtis Hairston in 2019. The defense argued no one knows who shot Hairston. Anderson was also shot that night. Macon County State's attorney says surveillance video shows Anderson entering a bathroom and pulling out an object. They say it was a gun. The defense argues it was a phone. The jury was sent home for the evening after deliberating for a few hours. They'll be back tomorrow morning.
Now for an update on a man accused of killing his grandmother. Clayton Anderson appeared in a courtroom in Nevada today. He is charged with murdering Sherry Hubbard. Her body was found in her Clarksburg home back on April 18th. Thomas Miller is accused of helping cover it up. Nevada law says they won't be extradited to Illinois until their cases in Nevada are closed. A 15-year-old is facing charges for attempted murder in Hoopeston. Officers responded to a fight in Parkview Court. Police say at least 1 person was hurt and a deadly weapon was used. Detectives say the suspect took off before police got there, but he was taken into custody the next day. The Vermilion County State's attorney is not commenting. New at 10, Rantoul police are searching for a man accused of beating a woman. There's an arrest warrant out for 25-year-old Christian Sanchez. Police were called to a home near Collier Avenue and Marco Drive for domestic battery. Police say a woman was sent to the hospital, but Sanchez was nowhere to be found. If you have any information, you're asked to contact Crime Stoppers.
Police departments across 2 cities are ending their prescription drug collection box program. Champaign-Urbana and the U of I police departments removed the boxes from their lobbies. They largely went unused over the past year because of COVID, and the departments had their lobbies closed to the public during that time. They also say before the pandemic, public use was very low, and it was also becoming dangerous for employees.
We weigh that sort of low demand for the collection program versus the actual risk to our employees handling what was in those boxes, some pretty serious prescription medications and also occasionally uncapped hypodermic needles that were turning up in there. It was posing a serious hazard to our employees.
There are still prescription drug disposal areas across the Champaign-Urbana area. To find out where, we have a link on our website. The Mattoon police officer is grateful to 3 strangers who helped him. Officer Adam Jenkins reported to a crash that happened on I-70 south of Mattoon. That trio came to his side, helping him and the man he was trying to save.
It was nice. Oddly, it was as if we already knew what each other were thinking, or at least that's how I felt. We didn't really have to say much. We just kind of looked at each other and knew what to do.
Those 3 strangers helped get the driver out of the car. He was hurt but alive. Police are still investigating.
The statewide positivity rate for COVID has decreased slightly after staying the same for several days. It's now at 3.9%. There are more than 2,400 new COVID cases. Another 30 people have died. More than 96,000 people were vaccinated yesterday. The 7-day average is more than 71,000 shots a day, a large dip from a record high of nearly 133,000 almost a month ago. The state also reported that since vaccination started, 140 people who have been fully vaccinated have been hospitalized for COVID. More than 4.2 million people in the state are fully vaccinated. A new U of I study says the pandemic has made issues like employment and finding childcare more difficult for mothers across the state. All of the moms the researchers spoke to had jobs leading into the pandemic, but almost 40% of them had lost their jobs or had reduced hours by the fall. Dana Thomas, a mom in Decatur, was furloughed from a hospital and eventually laid off. She's taking courses through Richland and ISU while also juggling helping her kids with their remote classes.
I could be at the hospital and have the entire hospital to myself, being on call, anything. I thought I could tackle being a stay-at-home mom with no effort. And it is not sitting home watching stories and eating bonbons. You're responsible for these people. And every day I would go out to the garage and scream.
Thomas says between getting her degree to help her job prospects in the future, helping her kids, taking care of 2 older family members, and being on unemployment, she has never worked harder in her life.
A new business opened in a spot that used to be the home of a controversial barber shop. Next Level Hair Parlor is taking customers on East Washington Street in Champaign. Its grand opening was Saturday. The location used to be Rogue Barber Company. That business shut down last year. People protested after the company required clients to not be members of Black Lives Matter, Antifa, or white supremacist groups. It's also now part of a discrimination case after someone filed a complaint with the city saying they were discriminated against on the basis of sex.
One athlete considered staying off the court after a medical condition sidelined her. Why sticking with it is helping her go far, both on and off the court.
Plus, closed door with a lot of Democrats going in and out. What we were told when we asked what was going on behind it.
All right, we're halfway through the week. Might be thinking about Mother's Day plans. And
hopefully they're inside.
Yeah, you've got some bad news for outdoor plans.
Yeah, outdoor plans not looking great. I know on Mother's Day a lot we like to cook out, and that may not be possible unless you want to do it in the rain.
A wet burger.
Yeah, wet. Well, who wants those? I don't know. Wet teddy bears here. Flooring America, Springfield camera, as you can see there, looking pretty good out there tonight. 64 and 43. Highs and lows, both below what is normal. We're going to talk about the storms for tomorrow. Could we see some severe weather? And then, yes, more about the rain for the weekend coming up.